Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
Amanda, what are we going to talk about today?
We're talking about how my treatment is looking exactly like it was when I had my first go round. Um, so I am going back on chemotherapy and redoing 5 to 10 rounds of radiation. I believe it's 10. Right?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it's 10.
I feel like radiation right now is the only thing that has any sort of definitiveness to it. Like, I have no idea what's going on with chemo, when that's supposed to start, what the protocol is going to be.
Yes, but we do know radiation is going to be a thing.
Yeah,
And
we're super lucky to have. They're really great, and they're on top of it, and very communicative, and clearly laid out. But then after that, everything else is just
I mean,
kind of a
I
shit
don't
show
know.
up in the air.
Maybe you guys can let us do. But it's really interesting that radiation is most likely going to start on the 9th. And the last time I did radiation I started on the 9th, in completely different months. But when I saw that it was going to be on the 9th, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And to further, like, say, like, the timing and how it feels very familiar is in 2025, in March 3rd of 2025 was my last day of chemotherapy. And on March 3rd of 2025, and now March 4th of 2026, I get delivered chemo again. So it's just kind of like, I'm really thankful to have an option of going to chemo and redoing radiation for sure. I know that's not everyone is not guaranteed that option, or so I realize how thankful and how blessed I am, but I'm just like, oh no.
In addition to that, whatever the chemo protocol looks like, you are feeling pretty confident that you're going to go to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to spell out exactly what that whole protocol will look like once we've been waiting to have everything definitive. The treatment procedure Amanda wants to pursue in Germany would require us to go to Germany every 4 weeks for probably at least the rest of the year. And that would be the way it would work is we would have to travel probably on the last day of her chemo cycle so that she could be in the clinic within 2 to 3 days of finishing chemo. We're going to have to figure this whole, and part of like the protocol we have to figure it out, because historically when Amanda did chemo before, she was her most nauseous and icky feeling on her 5th and then the 6th day, the first day after. So flying on a plane for 16 hours is going to be maybe not the most ideal thing.
Yeah.
So we really need to figure this out, which is part of the reason we got to figure out the protocol for if she's going to be, what dosage she's going to be doing with her chemo. She's saying it's getting delivered, but we still haven't had a discussion of what the dosage is going to be, if she's going to be at a higher dose, or if it's going to be a minimal one, or if it's going to be a in between, or if it's something that could taper to account for her travel. So I think there's still lots of questions that are very up in the air with this. And once we have everything completely spelled out, we will be sure to share that with you. Additionally, we met with another provider today who recommended getting this really comprehensive genomic testing, and then they could pair that with some AI technology that's out there that would be able to look at it and give probabilities of different off-label drugs or other things that are out there that could target mutations that show up within the glioblastoma tumor. One of the things that we're really curious about this year and we're actively trying to explore is maybe pairing some drugs that target specific mutations, but the drugs are used in other treatment modalities with Amanda's chemo protocol, assuming everything is safe and it doesn't cause any sort of bad problems, which what we've read so far, it should be okay. But again, trying to get this organized, trying to get a protocol put together, trying to get various providers on board with it. It is incredible how much you have to research and advocate for yourself.
Yep.
We've said this all along, but it's really even more evident this time around when looking at diversifying treatment and going outside of what the standard of care protocol is, which it's kind of a unanimous consensus that you really need to throw everything you can at GBM, but to try to throw everything you can at it, you really have to do a lot of the legwork yourself.
Yeah. 99% of the legwork yourself, for sure. Oh my gosh.
Anything else for this one?
No, just maybe if you could just pray about maybe the UCSF 500 coming back and us having very definitive next steps going into Friday, because offices are not open on the weekend. So if we can just have everything in place so we can potentially book a first trip to Germany, figure out when chemo is going to start. Radiation is most likely next week. But yeah, if you can just think about us, because we are tired.
And we will definitely have to do some substantial fundraising for Germany. I know many of you have asked about that. We've been waiting to for a couple things. One, we've been waiting for Amanda to get into a space of receiving,
right?
Because it's not a comfortable thing to be able to have to ask for help like that.
Right.
Two, we've been waiting until we got this other data so we could really present you all kind of a complete picture of what we're looking at. And we're really sorry that that has not come through yet, because we want you to be as informed as possible, but we also want to transparently share in case others we find something that's beneficial and others might be able to benefit from that.
Yeah.
And we are still waiting, obviously, on all those things, but we will likely launch a new GoFundMe specifically for Germany sometime by the end of this week, early next week, just again, waiting on more information. And I think that's it for today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next video, maybe we'll do a couple more questions like we did last time. So if any of you have questions you want to ask, you can put them in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, as always, we love and appreciate you all so much. We will see you next time, and thank you for sticking with us on the journey. Bye-bye.